Hello, welcome to Meat Academy Online Film Dive Podcast, episode 51.
There we go. We've got our new format happening. If you haven't been aware, last episode we changed things around.
We did.
The first 50 odd videos we were really on it, and we were doing one a week. We did really well there, and we're changing our format now. They're not going to be as often as one a week.
And I should stop swearing.
Should stop swearing.
Yeah.
But we've also changed the location. It's a lot more low key. We're trying to, just try and make it streamline the whole process, make it easier for us. Because if you aren't aware, we have a YouTube channel, and there's been a lot happening on there. So if you haven't subscribed, do it. In this episode, this is the first one of
the new year,
2021. So we're going to have a bit of reflection on what happened last year, the whole chaos, and what that meant for the film industry as a whole. Yeah. And we're also going to give our thoughts on what's going to happen. And I think 2020 was a big year for everyone. It changed a lot of people's lives, not necessarily for the better. It wasn't expected. No one expects a pandemic, especially before the pandemic hits. It wasn't really.
It was pre-pandemic. It was like life is good. Life is just
go through it. Just cruise through life.
It's going to be the year that we talk to our kids about. Or I talk to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's the year that was a massive curveball. Things changed. Mm-hmm. Life all of a sudden became serious.
It did.
It became like unknown. It became scary.
Do you remember the moment when you actually
started going, hang on, this is actually
this real thing?
When the curfew hit.
Yeah. For me was when probably ScoMo, our Prime Minister, he was pretty serious. Yeah, when he came on TV and made a big thing and said, right, everyone, we're just going to change your life.
yeah, that's right. I mean, I don't really remember the series of events that well because it's been so, I'm trying not to remember.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's been very difficult.
And I guess for me personally, because I was working full time at the time.
So was I.
I was working full time, I was in the film industry doing my thing. Well, I guess the advertisement industry anyway, working in film. And so doing that full time and then saying, right, I was 5 minutes from work and I said, you're going to have to work from home from now on. And so I said, right, I'm going to grab my hard drives and then I'll go home. And then since that point, I've been working from home.
Life has never been the same. And I started a new graphic design job probably 2 months prior.
Yeah.
And it was just like, as soon as I got there, as each week passed, it was like, is this serious? What's happening? My bosses were freaking out, and my hours were massively reduced. I was full time, and all of a sudden that was cut in half.
Yep.
I found other work elsewhere and changed sectors, but life hasn't been the same since.
One thing you can say though is that we are in a very lucky country.
Could be worse.
It could be very worse. Like
could be in America.
First of all, we could be in America.
Could be in England.
The thing is, right now, all throughout first of all, we got one of the least hit in terms of the pandemic. Our country as a whole. Melbourne, had a bit of an issue there. Melbourne had a bit of an issue there, but really, I mean, we've got a government which is actually paying us, paying those people, paying employees so they don't lose their jobs. And I think that's a powerful thing.
There's been a lot of support, whether you like it or not, It's been good for most people. But
it's been a big shift at the same time. We had just gone out, we just finished with 2019, that huge year where we had, Disney had bloody made billions and billions at the box office. We had,
Avengers wrapped up.
Everything. It really looks like, cinemas was, that was still
thriving. It was really smashing it, wasn't it? It was a real. Oh man, it was all happening like every week, every weekend. The cinemas were packed.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I remember there was many times I just couldn't
get a seat.
Yeah, I was like, I want to go see a film.
Even horror films, like.
Anything.
They were most films are doing so well, and there was a real
There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of
hype. The hype machine was happening. It was in full swing.
I felt it was the place to be. You didn't want to miss one of those because films, we've got all these franchises and all these big films. And so then we had 2020. We're like, right, here we go, another year. It's just going to keep going, get bigger and better. And we thought the train would never end.
Yeah, and then it just went
boom. And there was a huge the change of business model was probably the biggest.
Yeah, and it's still in, I guess, a bit of a.
Yeah, I guess we still don't know. They're all still trying to work out this new world.
Yeah, there's no answers yet. There's no.
No, they're trying. They're all obviously pushing digital. That's their thing.
There's been still a lot of uproar with that, and people unsettled with that.
Yeah,
a lot of adjustment going on.
It's. There's a few sides to it. There's the Hollywood side where the Hollywood have only known Hollywood and they don't want that to change. Mm-hmm. And then there's the money. And the money wants to find money.
Yeah.
And how can you find money when they're all shut?
Yeah. To be talking about this is just,
Yeah.
So weird.
It's very strange just to see this shift, the shift that happened. It's even hard to remember before the pandemic.
I know.
Really,
I know. It was bizarre. It was so bizarre.
The movie industry is not the most important industry around.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what we're talking about here is just our particular industry that we're referring to here. Within that industry, and where I was, that I was being involved with, the whole video production industry, which I still am.
Yeah.
On it, but it's just changed.
Yeah.
But now that brings us to 2021 and where things go from here. And what are your thoughts on what we're going to
expect? It's been 15 days into 2021 and I'm still rattled. I'm still, I'm still in the unknown about it all. I don't know what the hell's happening. I'm trying just to function and just trying to exist. Yeah. And trying to keep things simple and try not to live in this unsettled world, there's a lot of shit going down. Yeah, America's in uproar and there's a lot of stuff getting pumped out. The whole world, there seems to be a lot of unsettledness everywhere.
I think so. And
even here, we still have a lot of stuff going on, and it just seems like there's one thing after another. We had the fires even. Remember the big fires that happened?
That's the thing, right? In Australia, we had those horrible,
devastating
horrible
fires, bushfires, and then it just got, then the pandemic hit, and then there was floods as well. They had floods up in New South Wales and up that way.
Yeah,
and, it's just one thing after bloody another.
Yeah, and moving forward, my thoughts are that we're not going to be great anytime soon. But my hope is that we're going to finish better than we started.
Seems like it.
And so all we can do is hope, try and, focus on, I think the most important thing for anyone, is to focus on themselves and make sure that you're comfortable, you're happy, and that, obviously we can't look too far ahead.
Yeah.
But all we can do is try and, live in
the present.
In the
it's
present.
It's kind of more about being in the present now, and it's, especially me being a dad as well and having a family, it's probably the worst time to be, my son was basically born, a year. He was 1 year old basically when the seriousness of the pandemic hit, and we couldn't even take him outside for months.
Yeah.
And it was so hard and difficult just to see him be cooped up for that long and felt like he was a bit stunted with that growth because he couldn't go to daycare, he couldn't meet other children, he couldn't
explore, couldn't
learn,
take things in, take the world in.
So definitely, and that's with so many families and children out there, that even at school and stuff as well. So everyone felt it on some level, but unfortunately, new parents at that stage definitely we did it pretty tough. But luckily, we had him at the same time, so it kind of there was a light as well that kept us poised and I suppose kept my direction and kept me focused, to do what I had to do to get shit done.
Yeah, so hopefully, I guess, I'll finish up on what I was saying before, that let's just hope that it'll end better. It's not going to happen overnight.
They're bringing over a lot of Hollywood over here now, aren't they? They're still doing that, aren't they?
Yeah. Well,
let's talk about some film shit now.
Yeah, and I guess that is one thing that where Australia has primed themselves for that. And it was, Right, so if we rewind the clock a little bit, I don't know, would have been maybe mid-year.
Yep.
When our Prime Minister Scott Morrison announced spending
200 million or billion.
Was it 400 million, something like that? It was a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Whatever it was.
Not chump change, mate.
Anyway, they were throwing in a lot of money to try and lure the Hollywood here, and we're really probably one of the best countries to be out of filming right now.
Yeah, to position that sort
because
of stuff.
We are in a lot of places. We're not normal, but we're what they call COVID normal. We can get out and about. We can go to the shops. We can.
Yeah, there's still normalcy is still.
Business can go on within restrictions.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of room in this country to go play. You know, like
that's it. Yeah.
There's still a lot of places they can go film, and you know.
Yeah. In terms of land mass, we're pretty much the same size as the US.
Yeah.
But in terms of population, we're 25 million when they're 350 million or whatever.
I mean, they got more in New York City than we do in, you know.
So we're blessed, we're lucky
in that
aspect that we do have a country that is able to effectively cut off the rest of the world and say, stay out, we're going to solve our problem.
Yeah.
And then
we're
allow
put a shrimp on the barbie.
and we can allow other people to come here and film.
Yeah.
And keep things going. And so we've got a lot of things that are being able to continue slightly differently, but they're continuing.
Yeah, it's good. Do you remember seeing anything last year, film-wise or movie-wise? What was the last film you saw?
The last one that I would have seen, The Invisible Man.
Oh, right. Yep. Which is not a bad film.
I was very impressed with that one. Yeah, that was very good.
Because there's so many cheapy horror films like that, or thrillers or whatever. Yeah. Especially that banner that it falls under.
It definitely had that cheapy kind of B movie vibe.
Of course, it's Invisible Man. You wouldn't expect anything less.
But it felt like it was shot that way. Deliberate. Well. It was deliberately done that way. But at the same time, the visual effects were seamless.
Well, the director's an Aussie. You know?
Yeah. No, it was filmed here. It was filmed in Sydney, I believe. Yeah. Okay. So,
that's good.
I hope that's right. We'll check it. But yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it was. And so that.
That's cool.
It's great to know that.
Elizabeth Moss.
We can.
Elizabeth Moss. Elizabeth
the lead.
Moss. Yeah, the lead.
Yeah, I remember her from Mad Men.
Yeah. She's good. She's a good actor. The last film I think I saw was was The Lighthouse. I think it was.
Did you see that at cinemas or?
Yeah. Saw that in the city. Had a art housey kind of one.
Yeah.
In Carlton, and also I think Underwater I saw for my birthday, which was that creature underwater movie with the chick from Twilight, which was a shitty B movie, but it was
I remember I saw A Lovely Day in the Neighborhood, I think it was the Tom Hanks one.
Oh yeah, yes.
Which was kind of like a biopic kind of film
about that TV presenter guy.
Yeah, which was okay. I mean, for me, I just couldn't relate because I didn't know the story. I didn't know the dude.
Yeah. That's why I haven't seen it.
And so there's a lot of things. Like, it was well done, it was well acted, but there was just a lot of those references that someone in the US could probably see and really take away from, but I just couldn't.
Yeah. Every film he touched was like gold for a while, and then it's just not that case anymore. Yeah. Which kind of sucks, I watched his war film Greyhound, which is like a submarine Navy film.
Yeah, okay.
And he wrote the script for that. It's not bad, like it's not crap. It ain't no Saving Private Ryan, but it's it's alright. But it just, I don't know. Hanksy used to be like a certain class. Like, you knew going into a Hanks film, you were gonna get something out of it.
Yeah, well, he's definitely a good actor. He's great at what he does. Yeah. Especially his original stuff. Like, a lot of that really sticks. Yeah,
you think about that 90s period when he just was like, I guess, Forrest Gump, Philadelphia, Castaway,
definitely.
Fuck, there's so many. Saving Private Ryan.
Toy Story. Yeah. And then really after that, I hadn't gone to the cinemas until the other day. And really after that, I haven't been to the cinemas until the other day when I went to the drive-ins.
Yeah. I'm so keen to get to the drive-in because I grew up, seeing movies up there, out there, and it was. it's good fun for the family, and I can't wait till my son's old enough. I'll be taking him there as much as I can, you know.
Which is good, you know. Like the normal cinemas are open too, but I think it's still that hesitancy that you know, to go to sit in a room with other people you don't know. But at least the drive-ins you're able to, and the drive-ins have done really well throughout the pandemic. They've
done good.
They've been able to pick up.
They've got a resurgence, which is good.
Yeah, and
they should do more of them. Make more.
We've got like 2 near us, relatively near us. And you know, they were doing okay. There was a little period there where they had to be shut in the lockdowns, but you know, everyone knows that they're there, but they don't really go too much, and I think it's a bit of a shame. But and I think hopefully one good that can come out of the pandemic is that they can sort of see a revival of some description.
Well, the drive-ins used to be massive in the 70s. That was like the culture thing.
Yeah.
And my dad and mum used to just go there all the time, and
you
know, they were part of that culture. And you know, me growing up down that way next to one, it was, you know, we used to go quite a bit as well. And you know, it's a culture and a feeling that can't be replicated for me. I love the driving experience. I love, you know, sitting outside the car at summertime. You know, in Australia, you get the perfect summer night.
Well, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, and you can just have your deck chairs out. You got your snacks and your food, and you can smuggle in some beer.
Your own space, that's right.
You know, light up a few joints or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, people take their dogs in.
Yeah,
you know,
it's definitely
you got kids running around.
It's cheap, really. You're paying per carload, so it becomes cheap.
It's so cheap. Yeah. It's a great culture, you know. Take your girl.
Yeah.
You know, do
your thing. Cuddle up.
Yeah, do your thing. 2020, what a year. You know, just that year in 2020, when you think of it, you know, who would have thought that year was going to be the year of total devastation and change, and and just a massive curveball, and what a way to end the decade. You know, and now we're entering this new decade with a whole new mindset, a whole new approach to life and respect to life, I suppose.
Yeah, I think we all got our priorities are different now, I think.
Yeah. You know, we're losing touch with the realness of life for a while. I think a lot of us were.
Yeah, especially like personally, because I live alone, you know, and I made that decision before this whole virus. I've been living alone now for a little while. Yeah. And it's fine when you're able to meet with people, but when you're physically not allowed to meet anyone, that was hard there for I couldn't even see my parents there for a few months, and that was very tough. Yeah. If it wasn't us doing our, you know, over the airwaves, we were doing remote stuff. I mean, it was such a weird time, you know, and I couldn't imagine what it was like because I always had a family to worry about. But anyway. Hopefully, you know, it'll end better than it started. Yeah. Obviously, it's an eventful 2021, at least in other countries with all the still going stuff that's going on. If you got any questions, or if anyone wants to say anything, or shoot us some comments, or open up some dialogue with us, let's have a conversation, because we're open to get you guys involved with these. We'd like to have more of a conversation, and then you tell us what you want us to talk about. Yeah, or go see recommendations for us. You know, things we can do, and we'll answer any questions you've got, anything like that. So make sure that you are having that conversation. Very good. All right. Anyway, I guess we'll leave the podcast there. So if you haven't, if you're watching this on any of our podcast channels, make sure you jump on our YouTube where you can actually see our faces. Oh, yes. Yes, if you want to. If you want to see our faces. If you prefer to not see our faces, that's fine. Don't blame you. So there's Spotify, there's iTunes, there's all that stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching and listening, and we'll see you on the next one. Signing off. See you later. Thanks for watching Mini Academy Online. If you'd like to explore more of our content, click on this or click on that. Like and subscribe, thumbs up, ring bells, do a dance, sing a song, drink a hot cup of tea or coffee, and I'll see you in the next one.